Canadian government can have a really important impact on Vietnam. We can cooperate with them in economic, but also have focus on human rights because many activists, many people were under attack. Hi, you can call me Paul. I'm an activist, a human rights activist in Vietnam. I'm focused on religious freedom, and I was sentenced to 4 years in prison. So Amnesty International can consider me as a former prisoner of conscience. I spent 4 years in prison for the accusation of carrying out activity aimed at throwing the government. When we talk about Vietnam, we can see the similar to China, where it's the one-state party control. So the political situation is really terrible, especially after leader transition. The situation of the human rights activists is also terrible, and now I can say that social movement were attacked, and other human rights and social rights or even labor rights in under control, especially freedom of expression, freedom of press freedom. We don't have right to do that. With some activists, when they carry some activities like spread their opinion on the internet or social media, they were sentenced to really long. I want to start with my student life. When I'm still young, I attend the protest against China, and the Vietnamese government imprisoned me for 4 years. And after 4 years, I have to spend 3 year probation house arrest. And my family, I mean, include my brother and sisters, they they were attacked as well. My family house, gardener, and all the property were destroyed, and the Vietnamese authority also try to do every means to stop me from activing, and especially after my prisoner term, I go to the Formosa, and I'm one of the I think that I'm an activist who have the fishermen. So the Vietnamese government issue an arrest warrant. So I have to seek a way to flee my country, and I have yeah. So then I went to Thailand and applied for refugee there, and I have spent 5 years in Thailand before I was accepted and as a refugee to Canada. So I arrived Canada 2 years ago. 2 years ago on October 2020, 2022. Yeah, I still keep in touch with other activists and my network of activism in Vietnam, and also I still a journalist here. So I focus on Vietnamese audience, and currently I still working with some media, with some social media, and also try to advocate for the freedom of expression, freedom of internet. Yeah. Vietnamese in Vietnam is my main audience. So 80% of audience in Vietnam, and just about 20% in US and in Canada. So I have the network of media, even with the Facebook, YouTube, and the website. So I'm currently working with them. In Vietnam, the religious freedom is, the Vietnamese government, they often consider religious follower not friendly, and especially the Catholic and Protestant community, they were attacked in many places like the Highland Central. The situation of the many religion, especially Catholic and Protestant, not they don't have the right to practice their belief, their religion, and that's in the beginning when and where for my activism, and I think that if we want to enjoy our rights, I have to advocate for that, and I have to go. Yeah, I have to demand it. And because in one state party control state like Vietnam, we cannot practice our freedom of expression even online or offline. So I think that is really important and can be considered a beginning state for any other rights. So I also a journalist, so I think it's really important, and I can help other people recognize the truth and abroad to the world, especially when Vietnam often censorship and monitor all other activists and all other journalists. So I think that is really important because they know the journalists and other influencer can have an impact on audience, the listener or followers. And I also want to say that in 2011, about 17 Catholic and Protestant were arrested and were imprisoned. So I mean, Catholic and Protestant in the same boat. So when I was a student, I tried to write some article for independent media, and at that time I have connection with U.S. media outlets. So I wrote the article and sent them and published on their website. That's it. Yeah, and then I connect with other activists and other journalists. So we have a wide network of the journalists who concerned about human rights, and we advocate for some basic rights like religious freedom, and we raise the issue for the person who consider that a vulnerable people. I graduated from Ho Chi Minh University of Information and Technology in Saigon City. Yeah. At first, I worked for U.S. outlet in La Civic Catholic in U.S. And then I worked for Radio Free Asia. So Radio Free Asia is outlet and the sponsor of the U.S. government. And I also work for SPT and is still also in U.S. and other independent because in Vietnam we don't have independent media. Now I'm still working as a journalist and I'm an editor of some website. Especially, I mean, it's almost the independent. I also run my YouTube channel, and my other YouTube channel is about 1 million subscriber in Vietnamese for Vietnamese audience. I think consider that 1,000 people participated in protest. Uh, that's in 2016, where many activists joined together with the fishermen to protest against Formosa, and we can have fishermen and the people who demand the justice to protest against Formosa, and one of the largest protest is about 20,000 people, and it can be considered as one of the most successful protests in Vietnam. And I'm one of the person who take part in that, and it also caused many trouble, many challenges for us because after that I was issued an arrest warrant due to my activism, and I cannot I mean, I couldn't have place to live in Vietnam due to that success. And at the night of my wedding, so I have to flee to Thailand. Thailand. I hope that Vietnamese people can practice can practice and can enjoy their rights, their human rights. The basic one is okay, and I myself think that freedom of expression is really important because we censor even online and offline. Vietnamese authority often often attack on the people, often oppress them with the policemen. So we think that the people need have more space to express for their expression, and they can share their opinions freely. And in order to achieve that, I think we have to fight for freedom, press freedom, freedom of expression, and because I think that is really important. Many of my audience share their information and share their thoughts with me, because in Vietnam we don't have independent media. So many people, especially many journalists, can consider that the decision. They they just want to tell the truth to the world, tell the truth to the people, and we are in prison for a long time.